Hello everyone, welcome to IASBABA's 60 days rapid revision series for Prelims 2022. This is day 59 and we are taking up science and technology. So friends, some basic physics and also some of the current affairs we will be discussing here. So before that, we will have the guessworks. So 91st question, water can dissolve more substances than any other liquid because. So friends, here easy question, it is the dipolar in nature. So friends, in the conceptual ones, as usual, we will go with the knowledge, not with the guessworks. Say for example, here the good conductor of heat, so that has nothing to do with dissolution of a substance, and then here it is an oxide of hydrogen. So friends, here hydrogen may be a reactive element but not the oxygen. So that is why even this we can rule it out. And then the specific heat. So friends, we know that when we heat a liquid, it will dissolve more and more quantity of a substance. But the question is, it will dissolve more substances, not the quantity of a single substance. So here the dipolar is the most probable answer. And why it is? Because friends, we know that the hydrogen and oxygen, so they vary in sizes. If this is the oxygen and these two will form the hydrogen. So whenever a large atom, whenever it is bonding with the small atoms, so it is not having a satisfaction of sharing of electrons. So that is why this hydrogen will be having a faint positive charge and oxygen will be having a faint negative charge. And whenever you dissolve a salt, say for example we dissolve NaCl, so this Na plus that will come and it will lie near the negative charge and Cl minus that will lie near the positive charge. So now the electrons are ionized and the electrolyte dissolves. So this is also given in NCERT, not a difficult one. Then with reference to street lighting, so how do sodium lamps differ from the LED lamps? So friends, here we have a statement that is, as street lights, sodium lamps have longer lifespan than the LED lamps. So friends, now most of the sodium lamps, they have been replaced by the LED lamps. So if at all, if this is having a more lifespan than this, so why the replacement? So this is a wrong statement. So we take 2 as wrong and we eliminate B and D here. And we have A and C and here both have 3 in this. So our answer depends on the first statement. That is, the sodium lamps produce light in 360 degrees, but it is not so in the case of LED lamps. So friends, imagine the street lamps. So street lamps of LEDs, they will be having a plate and below that LEDs will be fixed. But at the same time, remember the sodium lamps. So the sodium lamps will be having a bulb like this. And this bulb, it will be having the light in all the directions, but LEDs will not be having in all the directions. And this is also true when we take the LED as a concept. So LED is a diode. So in this diode, so it is the waves that are going. So the filament is not glowing here. So whenever the glowing doesn't take place, whenever the waves are emitted in the only one direction. But whenever there is a filament that is glowing inside the sodium lamp, so this will emit light in all the directions. So anyway, if you take, so first will be correct. So 1 and 3 will be the most formidable option here. So friends, while reading NCERTs, it is the application which helps. So mere by heart will not come into picture here. Then come to next, the term ACE2 is talked about in the context of, friends, more times it was in news. So ACE2 is the protein which is present on our skin and it is the first receptor of the COVID-19. So whenever the spike protein of COVID-19 comes, so that will be received by the ACE2 protein. And here friends, whenever there is an alphanumeric, that is the alphabets and numerics, when they are present in together, so either it will be a gene or it will be a protein. So remember, mostly it will be in the biotechnology topic. But here that luck didn't favor because the genes is also present in one of the options. But here the spread of viral disease is the most probable option. So friends, remember these two tricks. That is, if there are only alphabetics, say for example Lisa, so this is only alphabetics. So this is an abbreviation that mostly comes to the space topic. And if there is alphanumeric, say for example cry1AC gene, so this cry1AC, that is alphabets and the numeric, so this will come under biotechnology. So mostly it will be a gene or it will be a protein. But friends, remember recently there is one more abbreviation called the sparkled, but this is not related to the space, it is related to nanotechnology. So whenever something is in current affairs, we will update. Then bisphenol A, a cause of concern, is a key structural or key component in the manufacture of which of the following kinds of plastics? So friends, here we need to know something about organic chemistry. So phenol, what is the chemical formula of phenol? It is a benzene ring with OH like this. So benzene ring, wherever it is present, so we will take that as the correct option. So we go with the low density polyethylene. Friends, what is the formula of polyethylene? It is like CH2 double bond CH2 and this is the chain which is forming N times. So a chain cannot be a ring. So this is not a formidable option. And here also polyethylene is there. So this is also a chain, not a ring. So we strike this out and polyvinyl chloride. So what is a vinyl chloride? It is nothing but CH2 and CHCl n times. So again, it is a chain and it is not a ring. So most probably the polycarbonate can have a ring and these three cannot have a ring at all. So in that perspective, we will get B as the formidable option. So friends, that is why I say don't neglect any of the topics, and you cannot convince yourself saying that you are from humanities or you are from non-science background or any of such reasons, because this organic chemistry is very simple and it is present since 5th standard from you. And if you haven't read the 5th standard book properly, then I don't think even you have read any other books properly as well. So again, remember, negligence is a crime in UPSC. Then the triclosan that is considered harmful when exposed to high levels for a long time is most likely present in which of the following? So friends, here whenever the chemical names are being present, so the suffixes will be same. Say for example diclofenac, cyclofenac, etc. So that AC, that comes only for analgesics, that is for the painkillers. Or say for example you take antibiotics, so that is azithromycin, ciprofloxacin or amoxicillin. So that IN, so that will be mainly for antibiotics. So here the triclosan is there, and you remember the endosulfan. We have been studying about the endosulfan victims since last 5 years. So this AN is very similar. So that means endosulfan is a pesticide. So this will also be a pesticide or germicide or anything of such sort. So first one, it cannot be a food preservative. So if you add it in food, so everyone will die in this world. And then fruit ripening substance. So again, this is a poison and it kills the pest. So it cannot be used for fruit ripening also. Then reused plastic containers. So plastic is somewhere not at all related to a pesticide, and toiletries. So toiletries, then Dettol, so all those things. So they can contain some germicides. So this will be more formidable option. And friends, triclosan was in news because it is used in the sanitizers. So keep your eyes and ears open for your surroundings and then mark the question. And then think about the question. Then come to next, the virtual reality and augmented reality. Friends, you have been solving MCQs regarding this and you might be exposed to various definitions. But unless you know the actual concept, you cannot hit the options with absolute conviction. So friends, here the virtual reality means once I wear this glass or once I wear this lens, so nothing is real for me. Everything will be virtual. So for this girl, so all the statistics that are here are virtual. And once she removes that, so everything is blurred. So it is like I can wear this glass and I can do some calculations, I can see movies, or I can go to the virtual world and experience some sound and other scenes and then come back. But augmented reality is a mix between the virtuality and reality. So here one person is wearing the augmented reality glass. So he is working on some model. So this model is real. So he has set up this model and he is checking the height of the buildings in this model. So this height, it is virtual and this is real. So remember likewise, and also the best examples for the virtual reality and augmented reality is, say for example you are trained for car driving. So in the virtual reality, someone will be driving and you will see from the very nearest angle how the car driving takes place actually. But in the augmented reality, so you can also virtually sit inside the car and then you can also drive. So as and when you move the steering, so the car moves accordingly. So in augmented reality, participation is possible, but in virtual reality, only the observation is possible. Then come to next, metaverse. Friends, the next level of virtual reality and augmented reality is the metaverse. So I told you like in virtual reality, only observation is possible, and then in augmented reality, the experience is possible. So in metaverse, the touch and smell is also possible. So say for example, I wear sensors to my nose and to my hands. So I can give a shake hand to you in the virtual world. So we can come in the Skype and then we shake our hands. So when I shake hand, I will feel as if you have been shaking your hand. Or say for example, you have running a perfume company, and by staying in India, you can have a demonstration of that perfume which is being demonstrated in US. And when the perfume is spread in US and you can smell that. And friends, nowadays the metaverse houses are being purchased. Say for example, you couldn't purchase a big house in the city and you have a very small house, but you have that metaverse password. So say for example, you entered your house and you wore all the sensors and then hit the metaverse password. So your virtual mind, it will be taken to that big house which you have purchased in metaverse. Say for example, you will feel as if you are in a big bungalow, and once you enter the toilet, it is fitted with gold platings, so as if you are living in a Dubai palace. So likewise, and once you remove the sensors, you will be back to the same Indian style toilets. So friends, it is hard to believe that many people have started purchasing houses in the metaverse. And also recently Tamil Nadu couple, they married in metaverse. That is, they tied their knots in the metaverse and all the audience they were given the passwords. So the technology is fast forwarding. And remember the touch and smell. So these are the distinct characters of metaverse which we can do virtually. Then come to next, the Eutelsat quantum satellite. So the European Space Agency is all set to launch the world's first commercial fully reprogrammable satellite, that is the Eutelsat Quantum. So friends, here the reprogramming of a satellite whenever it is in the orbit is the specialty, and this satellite has been developed with a partnership of the European Space Agency and then the Eutelsat company and the manufacturer Airbus. So for us, ESA is more than sufficient. Private members, UPSC will not be asking. Then the Eutelsat Quantum works on software-defined technology that offers flexible communications so that it can adapt to the demands of customers and markets in the real time. So as and when we give the command and as and when the market changes, the satellite also changes. Say for example, this satellite is tracking the agricultural products. And now, if the trade of agriculture is more in the North India, the satellite will focus on North India. And if the trade in agriculture moves to South India, so there more communications will be going on. So this satellite will focus on South India. So likewise, customized adjustment can take place. And this is unlike conventional satellites that cannot be repurposed once in the orbit. So in the conventional satellite, once you program and launch it, you cannot change it. But this is reprogrammable. Then the quantum will be orbiting the Earth in a fixed position of 35,000 kilometers. So friends, 35,000 means somewhere near the geostationary orbit. And it will be operated by a Paris-based Eutelsat. So the Eutelsat company itself is operating. Then this satellite will offer coverage for a large geographical area ranging from Asia to West Africa for 15 years. So almost it is covering half of the world. Then the fake buster has been set up to identify the deep fakes. Friends, what is a deep fake? So someone is coming up with a video wherein some other person exactly like you. So he will morph your video and he will put up some controversial news and then he will cause some embarrassment and others. So former US President Donald Trump's and many others deepfake videos have been in the market. So how the deepfake occurs? So for example, this is a real video. I put another woman here and with the help of artificial intelligence, I can manage that some lipstick comes here and some kajal comes here. So this video will be as same as this video. So this is how deepfake occurs. And to burst that deepfakes, the IIT RaRe, in partnership with Monash University, Australia, they have developed a detector named Fake Buster. So that is, this Fake Buster will identify the deepfake videos and then it will trigger the alarm. So deepfakes, that is the deep from deep learning. So in the machine learning, we can do this deepfakes. And fakes means the forged ones. So fake videos or the fake audios. And it is the forged videos and audios fabricated to resemble someone else or spread false informations. So we discussed how the deep fakes will occur. So this is all about the deep fakes. So remember how it is being done with the help of the deep learning and also the fake busters which will identify that. Then the Delphi technique. So this Delphi is an artificial intelligence system built by researchers in Seattle and it is designed to make the moral judgments. So friends, we know that the main drawback of artificial intelligence is that it is not having the training for ethics. So ethics and integrity is very difficult for the artificial intelligence to learn. And here we have one artificial intelligence which can learn ethics also. So this Delphi hopes to build an ethical framework that could be installed in any online services, that is robots or vehicles, etc. So such a technology can help in addressing problems in modern artificial intelligence systems such as facial recognition systems and digital assistants that show bias against women and people of color. Yeah, friends, whenever artificial intelligence trained website, if it is showing dim color as something inferior, so that will be corrected by Delphi technique. And controlling hate speech on social network like Facebook and Twitter, so artificial intelligence will be searching, and if someone is posting controversial news and hate speeches, so that will be curbed in the real time. Then arbitrary parole orders by courts, police departments, etc. So if there is any arbitrary decisions that is going on, so Delphi can stop that. So remember, artificial intelligence ethics is the Delphi technique. Then a star with heartbeat and without magnetic field discovered. So friends, here the heartbeat is not the biological heartbeat, so it is something different. We will see that. So a group of Indian and international scientists have spotted a peculiar binary star that shows heartbeat but no pulsations. So friends, here whenever there are binary stars, we know that two stars, they will be revolving against one another. And here the pulsations will occur. Say for example, I am seeing this star from here. whenever these two stars, they are in this position, I can see the light from both of the stars. But when they are overlapping around one another, so there will be dimming of brightness. So here a crust and trough, or maybe the pulsations of light is visible. And not only this friends, so even the pulsation of electromagnetic field is also visible as and when they disturb the space-time variance. So we know that as per Albert Einstein, so any cosmic body that is moving in universe, so that will disturb the space-time variance and that will cause a variation in the electromagnetic field. But here is one binary system of stars, so which will leave the pulsation, but no electromagnetic field is released from that. So this electromagnetic field in space parlance, it is called heartbeat. So only pulsations are coming, but heartbeat is not coming. So that is only the light signals are coming and the electromagnetic radiations are not coming from this one. So that is why it is very unique, and this is contrary to norm of binary stars for sporting both heartbeats as well as pulsations. So most of the binary stars will be having heartbeats as well as pulsations, but this doesn't have heartbeats. And this system of stars is called the HD 73619 and it is located near the Cancer constellation. So this Cancer constellation is one of the closest to the Earth. So these binary stars, so they have an unusual abundance of elements heavier than hydrogen and helium on the surface. So might be that due to excess of hydrogen and helium, the electromagnetic radiations are not coming. So that might be one of the reasons, but it is not still proved. So this is all about the binary system with the pulsation, but not the heartbeat. Then the name heartbeat stems from the resemblance of the path of star to an electrocardiogram or the human heart. So friends, whenever there is variation in the electromagnetic radiations, so that is treated as the crest and trough like this. So friends, here how the heartbeat will occur, so that is being explained, and the same applies for the pulsation as well. So as and when the stars revolve around one another, there will be one position of these stars where very high magnetic field and very high pulsation is produced, and at one point very low pulsation and low magnetic field is produced. So just go through the process, and most importantly don't confuse with this heartbeat. Then come to next, C2C variant of BrahMos missile. So friends, we know that BrahMos is one of the cruise missiles and it is built between the Indo-Russian cooperation, that is Brahmaputra Moskva, and India successfully tested advanced C2C variant of BrahMos supersonic cruise missile. So it is supersonic, that means it will move faster than the speed of the sound. And what is hypersonic? It is more than 5 times the speed of the sound, and it is being tested from the INS Visakhapatnam, that is the missile destroyer. Then more about BrahMos supersonic missile. So BrahMos was deployed by Navy on its warships first in 2005, and this has capability to hit the sea-based targets beyond the radar horizon. And this is also having capability to launch from land, sea and subsea. So on a ship inside the sea and then air against the surface and the sea-based targets. And the missile fired at the speed of 2.8 Mach or nearly 3 times the speed of the sound. So remember friends, 1 times to 4 times the speed of the sound is supersonic, and more than 5 times the speed of the sound is hypersonic. And what is less than speed of the sound? It is subsonic. And it is the world's fastest anti-ship cruise missile currently in operation. So remember the word fastest. So such words are the hotspots of UPSC. So for us, the C2C variants and then the INS Visakhapatnam and the fastest is more than sufficient, and all other facts we already know. Then the Global Cyber Security Outlook 2022. So World Economic Forum's Global Cyber Security Outlook 2022 was released during its online Davos Agenda Summit. So remember friends, this outlook is released by World Economic Forum. Then some of the key takeaways: the accelerating pace of digitalization fueled by COVID-19 pandemic has led to a record-breaking year for cybercrime. So in the wake of COVID-19 lockdown, many people lost their job and they resorted to cybercrime. And here the ransomware attacks, so they rose to more than 151% in 2021, and on an average 270 cyber attacks per organization is being faced. And each successful cyber breach costs a company 3.6 million. So that means it is almost 27 crore for each cyber attack. And the global digital economy has surged during COVID-19 pandemic, but the cybercrime has also increased. So as and when digitalization increases, cybercrime also increases. So friends, remember the report and the forum and this 151% and the increase of cybersecurity after COVID-19. Then come to next, the Presidio Principle. So Presidio Principles were released by the World Economic Forum's Global Blockchain Council. So, World Economic Forum's Global Blockchain Council is the organization which released this Presidio Principle. So friends, what is this Presidio Principle? These are the principles which will guide how to build a blockchain technology and how to use it. So friends, there are several principles in this. We cannot remember and by heart everyone. But the only thing is that the Presidio Principle is something related to the use and building up of a blockchain technology. So that is more than sufficient for us. And then the document calls on all actors to uphold these tenets as they build blockchain applications. And these principles help users to self-direct their ecosystems in using these principles as foundational vision for how users can and should be protected. So it is mainly for the protection of the users of blockchain technology, and the Presidio principles are grouped into 4 pillars, that is transparency and accessibility, then privacy and security, then accountability and governance, and agency and interoperability. So under all these, various principles are being prescribed and these are not legally binding. So for us, what is Presidio Principle? It deals with blockchain technology and World Economic Forum has released that, and it is not legally binding. And these are some of the pillars on which it is being stipulated. So that is more than sufficient. Then Decentralized Applications or the DApps. So DApps are the programs that allow people to interact with one another without the need for the third parties, thereby obviating the need for a middleman and their commissions. So friends, whenever you go for an app, so one company will be holding that and the company will decide what changes should be done for that app. So the standard web apps such as Uber, Twitter, so they run on computer system that is owned and operated by an organization. So Uber owns the Uber app and Twitter owns the Twitter app. And there may be multiple users on one side, but the backend is controlled by a single organization. But however, we have the BitTorrent, Tor, or the Popcorn Time. So these are the applications that run on computers and that are a part of P2P network. So here there is no one controller. So by communication and mutual discussion, anyone can bring changes in these apps. And some of the characteristics of these D apps. So they exist and run on blockchain network. So remember this as important. So friends, that is how. So if I make a change, so that block will be created and that is sealed. And if someone makes the change, so that forms another block and hence it is sealed. So that is why this blockchain is very much important as and when the multiple changes are done to the app every day. Then the higher computing power than the regular apps. So but obvious, as and when people upgrade that, so it will reach to the zenith of its efficiency. Then less vulnerability to cyber attacks. So as and when people upgrade that, so it will become safe and secure as well. But however, drawbacks include that potential inability to scale and challenges in developing a user interface and difficulty in making code modifications. So friends, here no one will take the charge of upgrading the app because the people think that everybody's job is no one's job. And then challenges in developing a user interface. So friends, no one cares about making it user friendly and all, because as and much I need this app, I will use it, and after my use I will quit. I don't care about whether others are able to use it or not. But if an organization is running this app, so they will be having the responsibility to increase the viewership, and that competition will make them to make it user friendly and set up an interface between the user and the app, and then difficult to make code modifications. So if the app is built on a code, so the company knows the code and it will alter. But if the code is decentralized, so no one knows who did it and hence no change will occur. So everything comes with its own advantages and disadvantages. Then come to next, satellite internet services. So recently government issued a public advisory to stop Starlink internet services from offering satellite-based services in India. So friends, here this Starlink is one of the best examples for the satellite internet services that is being provided. And here, for the commercial launch of satellite internet services, a company needs to take the GMPCS license. The license is called the Global Mobile Personal Communication Satellite. And that license will be given by the Department of Telecommunication. But Starlink did not take any license, so that is why it is not being used in India. And such a license is given for a personal communication system that provides transnational or regional or global coverage from constellation of satellites. So this license is very apt for the Starlink and they should have taken the license. So here remember the Starlink and the satellite internet services and also the GMPCS license issued by the Department of Telecommunications. And then more facts about satellite internet services. Friends, this will happen via the telecommunication satellites and the very small aperture terminals. So friends, here the aperture means the diameter of this antenna. So these VSATs, so they will receive and send signal to the communication satellite and this will relay it back to another receiver. And friends, here this satellite can either be a geostationary satellite or it can be a satellite in the low Earth orbit as well. And friends, the advantage of the low Earth orbit is like it is easy to launch the satellite to a low Earth orbit, but however, the geostationary satellite that will come with a large coverage area and also a stable communication as it is stationary with respect to Earth. And then apart from satellite internet services, we have other internet services, that is the digital subscriber line. So this is a wired internet, and then the fixed wireless internet, that is the Wi-Fi, and then the 4G and 5G, that is the cellular network internet services. So remember these 4 types of internet services, and also remember the VSAT antennas and then the satellites being launched. Then come to next, the SatNav policy 2021. So this SatNav is the Indian Satellite Navigation Policy 2021. Friends, you know that this SatNav is being proposed by the Department of Space and not by ISRO. But however, we know that the satellite navigation policy will deal with the navigation satellites, that is the NAVIC. So here, what is a navigation satellite? It is a constellation of navigation satellites with global or regional coverage. And friends, the NAVIC is not only the constellation of navigational satellites, but it also has a supporting infrastructure. So that will give all weather data. So in any kind of weather, we get the data, and it also gives 3-dimensional positions of any object, and it can also give the velocity of a moving object and also the timing data. So at what time you will leave the house and by what time you will reach the office. So all these will be given by the navigation system. And friends, we also know that the NAVIC provides civilian as well as strategic services. So civilian for the common people, strategic for military people. So for us here, SatNav policy that is related to the navigation and a brief account on the navigation of the NAVIC system and the Department of Space that has come up with this. And then friends, NAVIC system, so that consists of the Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System or the IRNSS system, and it is developed by ISRO. So the satellites are designed by ISRO, the policy is designed by Department of Space. And there are 7 satellites, that is 3 in geostationary and 4 in geosynchronous. Friends, now it might be 8, so but no issues. UPSC has already asked a question on this and it will not repeat it again. And friends, this NAVIC also helps the aviation sector, and the GPS aided geo-augmented navigation or the Gagan system will provide the navigation services for the airspace. And this Gagan is jointly developed by the ISRO and Airport Authority of India. So here remember the IRNSS and then the Gagan and the organizations which have developed it. So now friends, the civilian service, the army service and the air flight service. So all the 3 are given by the NAVIC system, and SatNav policy will include how these services are given. Then come to next, the Sophisticated Analytical and Technical Help Institute, that is the SATI. So that means, so this is an institute that is providing some advanced analytical and technical help, and this is developed by the Department of Science and Technology. So that has launched this scheme, and DST has planned to set up 5 SATI centers in the next 4 years, and 3 centers are already present in IIT Kharagpur, IIT Delhi and BHU Varanasi, and these institutes will provide common services of high-end analytical testing. So testing of a server, testing of a supercomputer or any other services which are advanced in nature. So that will be provided here. So friends, currently we are depending on foreign sources for all these, and Indian government wanted to make it indigenous. And this aims to provide a professionally managed services with efficiency, accessibility and transparency of highest order. So but obvious, a great aim it has. So remember friends, if you have an organization which is working with the high-end cyber technology, so there how to test a machine or how to analyze the traffic or how to analyze the credibility of the website and the security of it. So you call the SATI scheme and get them tested with a minimum cost rather than going for foreign sources who will charge exorbitantly. Then come to next, the GitHub. Friends, this is the open source software repository, and this is in use after some controversial and abusive content was presented in that. Friends, for us, how it is used is not important. So the technology is important. So GitHub is the world's largest open source developer community platform where users upload their projects and code for others to view, edit and tweak. So say for example, I have done a project, I have done a program, I will put it in open market and anyone can edit this and anyone can use this and anyone can suggest any changes. And the platform uses the software called Git, which was created in 2005 by the Linus Torvalds. Friends, who is this Linus Torvalds? He is the developer of the Linux operating system. So for us, how this GitHub technology works and who did it, that is more than sufficient. The Kamova Lava. So recently scientists have observed a quasi-satellite named the Kamova Lava while tracking Earth's orbit around the sun. So friends, apart from moon, we have a quasi-satellite. So scientists predict that it could be a fragment from the moon. So we don't know whether it is a different object or a part of moon. And then the mission to collect the Kamova Lava sample has been scheduled for launch in 2025. So by 2025, we will be getting a sample of this quasi-satellite. Then this was discovered in 2016 through the Pan-STARRS telescope, which is located in Hawaiian Islands. And this Kamova Lava is a word that is a part of Hawaiian chant. So it is a shloka that is being chanted. So it is one of the Earth's quasi-satellite, or it is a space rock that orbits around the sun. And this is having 150 to 190 feet diameter. So because of its small size, scientists have not studied it thoroughly. So remember this brief account on Kamova Lava then. Friends, as our former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee suggested, so it is Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan and Jai Vigyan. And this quote suggests the importance of technology. So one technology can solve several of problems. One technology can solve several of controversies. So when that is the case, we have to make the best use of technology and we should not abuse or misuse that. So by making the best use of technology, by upgrading our technology, let's all make India the #1 nation in this world. So all the very best. Good luck friends.